Hello, my darlings. I hope you're all doing okay. The restrictions are lifting bit by bit and hopefully we're going to emerge from this. But I just wanted to have a little chat with you today, a little bit more about mental health. And I've had such a lot of phone calls and saw people and had emails last week, not just about mental health, but bullying in particular. And it's a shame, really, when we've all been isolated for so long, that people still feel that need. You know, I remember my own autistic son being viciously bullied through school. You know, he had to go to hospital when he was 4 and he had lumps all over his head and face where he'd been knelt on by 3 boys and punched by an older boy. Throughout college, he'd be stretched across 3 chairs by a group of young lads, and the main perpetrator would run across the room and kick him in the back. I've been speaking to the most amazing lady, Lauren Lovejoy, lately, and she's autistic. And, you know, her bullying went to the extent where she had to move school. The lead bully tracked her down. She's had her nose broken. They put gum in her hair on prom night. Awful, awful things. And I'm so proud of both of them because my Ollie is now doing a PhD. This is the boy who was always told he'd never achieve. He's doing a PhD in creative writing, which is his dream. And Lauren has gone on to become Miss Universe. She's got her own podcast channel. I've got goose pimples, look, telling you this. I love it, I love it. So just remember, always, however hard it is, and I've been bullied, I really empathise. And you've got to just remember that those people don't define you. Don't give them the pleasure. But sometimes, particularly when boys are being bullied, young lads, they find it really hard to say. And girls too, because it can really be, there's cyberbullying, there's mental and emotional bullying. It's not always physical. And sometimes those things can be worse. So if you've got a child that you suspect is being bullied, and you can usually see the signs, you know your child, sometimes they don't always want to talk. And, you know, I had somebody recently who really wanted me to speak with their child about the bullying they are currently going through. And when the dad left, this young lady said to me, I just don't want to talk about it. I just don't want to talk about bullying. This is my fun time. This is my naughty time. Which I did love. I did laugh about. So I thought, okay, I've got to keep everybody happy here. And something evolved from that situation. I had to think on my toes, like I always do in my job. I'm always learning. I never just dish things out, or, you know, I combine all my therapies to meet the child, the young adult, that person, wherever they are at, not where I want them to be. And immediately that empowers them, fills them with oxytocin, love, nurture, tapping into that emotional intelligence. It stimulates that. And it also floods them with serotonin, the hormone of happiness, confidence and self-esteem. So we have superpowers inside us. And the first thing I would share with you, and it does work because I did it for years, if somebody says something really negative or horrible about you, just think in your mind 3 times, delete, delete, delete. And then think of something positive about yourself. You know, we all struggle with that, don't we, to find our positives, but think of something you're good at. Think of something you love doing. You know, put those 3 positive thoughts in your head, because that actually rewires into a new positive neurological pathway. But back to getting your kids talking. So I always share with this young lady, love heart, sweeties. This is naughty time after all, little sweeties. Never go amiss. So anyway, we were running out. We only had 2 left because I'd got them out to share with her. And I suddenly thought, oh my goodness, why don't we turn that anger, that pain, frustration, sense of injustice, that hurting feeling, that crushed feeling, let's turn it all into a love box. And this is not as mad as it sounds. What we did was, I said to this young lady, with all the therapies you do with me, what are your favourite ones? Think of 10, 20 if you can. The more the better. So she did. And one of the things I'm going to share with you is the mummy hug. And when you just squeeze yourself all the way down your arms, really gently and mindfully, and that absolutely floods you with oxytocin. It really, really does. Do your hands as well. Your wrists are about survival, so give those a good squash. You've got so many superpowers inside you. It might not take away the bullying, but it will help you deal with it, you know, and the schools need to be on it with the bullying. But there are lots of things you can do for yourself. Anyway, I said to this little girl, what would you really like in an ideal world to do to your bullies? I know it's a bit cheeky, but you know, we're allowed to be angry. That's on the spectrum of who we are, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it helps get stuff out. She said, I'd want to crush them. So I said, brilliant. So we made this one the crusher. This is the crusher. It's actually the mummy squeeze, but we made it that. And then there was a yoga position she really loves, where you go into a ball, you have your chest on your thighs and your arms out, round rock, child's pose. She absolutely loves that one, and that's brilliant because it pushes all the dopamine and serotonin up from the gut. And we've got 90% of our serotonin now in our gut. We've got so many neurotransmitters in our gut, it could actually run as an independent nervous system all on its own. But not only that, if you combine it with humming, that sound goes through your cells carry memory, your water carries memory, and even your immune system. And I only learnt this on a training last week. Your immune system carries its own memory and its own intelligence. I mean, it's incredible how we're put together. I'm becoming nerdier and nerdier by the second, but we're going to have fun with it. So I said, well, we could do something with that. So basically we took all the lovely yoga poses, the touch, the superpower breathing. Don't forget, your breath is your superpower. Where we breathed in and we made a dragon breath where we incinerated all those horrible feelings that she had inside her. So we breathed in through our noses and we went like that with our hands as well to really get those flames out and burn how she was feeling. But while we were doing that, we had all the movement to get the happy hormones and coping chemicals going. So then I thought, and this is what we did. So we got the love heart in, and we got some emotion stickers out, and we literally, so this is I've actually picked up the crusher, and we put the name of what it was on the back. So there was yoga poses, there were things that made us feel a lot happier, like the mummy squeeze, scissor jumps, that was actually where she was cutting their tongues out for the horrible things they were saying. But I mean, it's fine, you've got to express it. We had a push your worries down breath, so that was that one, and that's where you breathe in through your nose, and with your hands you go push your worries into the floor. You can go on the internet, find yoga poses, touch for anxiety, you can find breathing exercises, just print them off the internet. You don't need to go out and spend a fortune. And as we were making these love hearts, you know, turning all that rage and those yucky feelings into something positive, we actually, brain polishing, that was a good one, that's where we went there, that was brain polishing. And that helps with sleep, mood and aggression. So processing that quite justified anger you feel when you are picked on for being different or for whatever reason it is, there's never an excuse. So that was brain polishing, and then she wanted to brainwash her bullies into being nice. So this was the brainwashing one on the temples, and the temples are the capital city of the happy hormones. Oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins are made and produced in the pituitary, which is there through massage, and dopamine is produced deep in the hypothalamus, travels up the sides of the head and is stored in the pituitary. So that one was brainwashing. And as we began to name the different poses with our little emotion love heart sweeties, you know, she began to laugh. Laughter instantly produces serotonin. Massively. Laughter is pure serotonin. It's absolutely fantastic. There are so many health benefits to laughing. And as she began to laugh, she began to relax, and she voluntarily began to talk about her bullies and what they were doing, which has been enormously helpful to me because I've got to have a Zoom meeting with that school and the person involved and the parents. So it's a real team of support, and that child will get the right help and the bullies will get the right help, hopefully. You can always put it into games. If you've got a child who finds it really, really hard to sit down and do that mindfulness of cutting things out and naming them, you can put it into games like snakes and ladders. So if you go down a snake, think of something you'd like to do to the bullies. If you go up a ladder, it could be something that empowers you, makes you think, yes, I'm on top of this. Yoga is my superpower. Breathing is my superpower. Touch is incredibly fantastic for your superpowers, your happy hormones and coping chemicals. You could turn it into Ludo. So, you know, you could put it into a card game where, I don't know, if you get a king, you can say, well, what's the main stressor? If it's a queen, right, what superpower breathing exercise could we do to make you the queen of your own red carpet? You know, there's so many different things you could do. I can't believe I'm actually going to share this on YouTube, but I had handy, ready-made, a little toilet. I know I'm crazy. Do you know what? I'm probably going to really regret sharing this. But I don't care, because anything will help, and it's completely childish. I'm embarrassed to say I bought it recently. I actually really helped a non-verbal autistic child with this, but that's another story. And that was beautiful, and I nearly cried. Anyway, so what you do is, here's the bully. It's a poo. Looks quite real actually. If you put it upside down, people would step around it or try and pick it up with a tissue or a poo-poo bag. So you pop it in, right, you got your dice, you pop that in, and oh, right. So then if you I got a 2. How appropriate. God, I must behave. Sorry. Number 2. And then what you do is you get the plunger and you do it twice. It didn't come out. But the idea is you go round with the game, you get it on Amazon. It is quite expensive actually. You know, I think it was about £14. But anyway, we were doing this at New Year, and it was like a rugby match going on, because I'm a bit savage when I play games. Not with my children, incidentally. I'm lovely when people come to me for their therapies, but with my own children, it got a bit savage. We were all launching for this poo. Anyway, you can imagine, and we were laughing so much it sounded like someone was being murdered inside. So eventually the poo shoots out of the little cistern, and then you all try and grab it, and the one who grabs it gets to choose the anger to love, sweetie. Now, don't laugh. I'm just showing you all these different ways that you can adapt it. Don't stand up. Don't stand for it with bullying. Nobody should be bullied, whether you're in the workplace, a relationship, or school, anywhere. It's not acceptable. It is never, ever acceptable. So please, if therapies are not for you, and positive mindset activities, because believe it or not, that's exactly what the Loo game is, you know, talk, keep talking. But it's really lovely, and I must admit, when I played this game with this child, and I've played it with others since, and I mean, I made it up on the cuff. So, and that was lovely, because when the child left, she said, right, we're going to write a book together, Juliana, in the summer holidays called Bullying, Mental Health and Anxiety. Exactly like that. I thought, you know what, you're actually onto something there. Anyway, but you know, have fun with it. And when you're laughing, you are laughing at your bullies. You are laughing your worries away. You're flooding yourself with serotonin, which is self-esteem, confidence, you know, happiness. Don't let other people define you. The more you laugh, the more you get on top of these things. You, as I'm always saying, you're shrinking that grey matter in your brain around the amygdala, the emotional brain, the fear centre, and you're growing it around the frontal lobe. Things like seeing consequences, good judgment, thinking before you act, aggression. You know, it's helping with all of those things, and you're going to win, you're going to beat this. And that's why I wanted to mention my son and this lovely lady, Lauren, who I'm absolutely blessed to know. You know, when I hear people's stories, it's amazing what they go on to do. And just to finish, I wonder what all of their bullies are doing now. Now there's food for thought, but I'm not a nasty person. So I hope they've learned, and I hope they're nicer people. Anyway, darlings, I've rattled on again. They're getting longer and longer, these videos, but I shall see you next week on Monday. And if you want to know any more about this, please go on to Anna Kennedy, AnnaKennedyOnline.com. I'm the Wellbeing Charity Ambassador for her, and I'll put up some little ideas for games, possibly not the poo one. I'll put some ideas up for games and superpower breathing, yoga moves that help, so that you can just freely, please, print them off. It's a starting point and it costs nothing. It's a bit of paper just to print them off and go and have fun with it. And you will be amazed at how your child their whole mood will lift, they will engage with you emotionally and mentally, and they will begin to talk. So talking is key, and we need to be super aware of that and check in with each other and ourselves on a regular basis. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. You're probably all losing the will to live. Thank you ever so much for watching. It's been lovely. And if you like the video, press the thumb, the thumb thing. I keep being told to do this, but it's a bit, I feel like I'm plugging myself. I'm hardly a YouTuber. I don't get paid for this stuff, but it's really useful to know if people like it. Let me know what you would like more of as well. Email me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on info@therapiesforspecialneeds.co.uk, I'm the founder of that. Rainbow Kids, I'm the founder. Message me. Let me know what you would like, because this is for you. This is not for me. I'm doing this for all of you. So I don't want it to be some terrible Juliana show. That would just be cringy. Anyway, darlings, have a beautiful day. I think the rain has gone. We've got sunshine here today, and I'm blowing it up to you if you haven't got it where you are. Take care, my darlings. Look after each other, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.